Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. These orcs are mean and not so green. We do have a lot of black orcs, helmed by the big one himself, Grom the Paunch. So we have Tesla going to be leading the Greenskins, and then we will have the Undead Squirrel going to be commanding the Tomb Kings. So Grom the Paunch going to be rocking with his chariot, bringing Language of the Boys. The Great Un is here, and a Lucky Banner as well. But the highlight of this army is going to be triple black orcs for the front line. Very heavy on that elite infantry. We do have some goblins on the flanks, and we do have a bit of mobility as well, with 4 forest goblin spider riders kind of spread out on both sides. We do have the rusty arrows, which will have some nice armor sundering, which will be good against any of the big constructs of the Tomb Kings, though these black orcs will do quite well in and of themselves. We do have a night goblin shaman bringing sneaky stabbing and vindictive glare. For the backline, we do have some more orc arrow boys, and we have double doom diver catapults with a night goblin with their fanatics kind of in the center ranks. So for the Tomb Kings, we do have double melee Ushapti, who will be supported by a Necrotech. That Necrotech is going to be bringing Stone Shaper, Vambraces of the Sun, their little restoration ability here to provide some healing to the constructs, restore, and then they also have the Wrath of the Creator. So this Stone Shaper will help against the Doom Divers a bit, with plus 10 to missile resistance and armor, as well as from any of those rusty arrows coming in, help to counteract that a little bit. We do, of course, have Cetra on his Sphinx. He is going to be bringing Dejaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades, Incantation of Protection, and the Incantation of Desiccation, as well as the Blessed Blade of Petra and Wrath of Petra. So pretty good stuff for him. We also do have a Tomb Scorpion going to be assisting that frontline engagement with the Chosen of the Gods, the Great Bow ROR. For the rest of the infantry, we do have the Kepra Guard, very good elite infantry that does magic damage bonus versus infantry. Very good unit there, and then the rest of the units just going to be pretty much chaff. We do have the King Nikesha Scorpion Legion, who will have a nice anti-large and poison on top of their normal abilities, and then it'll just be skeleton warriors and skeleton spearmen for the rest. And that lovely Screaming Skull Catapult, who will be outshot pretty severely by the Doom Divers. But let's get things underway, as it looks like the Tomb King should realize fairly early on that they are going to be a little outranged here, and they're going to need to advance. Those Doom Divers have some good targets to be shooting at. They can shoot at either any of these Ushapti units, probably Chosen of the Gods, and even go for that Screaming Skull. And then they also have the Tomb Scorpion, but they will most likely be going for some of the ranged units first. And then Cetra is kind of just sitting in the trees a little bit, trying to stay safe from these Doom Divers as they do fire off Vindictive Glare, going to be arcing its way in, targeting that Screaming Skull Catapult as the rest do come in. Vindictive Glare does take out one of the models. Moving your crew off of it is a kind of a good try. That does help against the Doom Divers, but the spells, I believe they target the artillery units themselves, so once it is cast, you can't really divert its attention. With some nice shots coming in from Chosen of the Gods on top of Grom, though Grom will tank that fairly well. He does have regen and all that good stuff. Tomb Scorpion is rotating around, trying to get over that, going underneath the dirt, trying to get over and pin him in. But now the Black Orcs are going to be engaging, and here come the Ushapti as well. Kind of a risky business going in against the Black Orcs, but they do have very good armor-piercing values, and with the assistance of the Tomb Scorpion and Cetra, they should be able to make quick work of this unit of Black Orcs. A Vindictive Glare, arc in its way, does miss Cetra completely as he does kind of lunge a bit out of the way. And here comes some of the Kepra Guard looking to support this far flank against those Black Orcs, and without any support from the Greenskins, they should be able to hold their own fairly well, but the Black Orcs should still win that engagement. Screaming Skull Catapult taking a ton of damage, down to just two units left. It is, I think it is completely out, only has one artillery piece. by the looks of things. Black Orc's been able to get chewed up pretty easily right here, with Cetra now kind of wreaking havoc a bit in the back lines with Grom. He does have some Night Goblin support, but that's not really going to be the best for him, as the Tomb Scorpion also looking to be getting into the back line, slowly making its way through those Force Goblin Spider Riders, as some more are looking to be shutting down the Chosen of the Gods. Chosen of the Gods should be able to sustain that. They do have the support of the Spearmen coming in from the rear, but they will be offline, at least for the time being. Otherwise, the frontline engagement going actually fairly well for the Tomb Kings, as they do have a nice little bonus in the balance of power, been able to chew through some of these Black Orcs fairly quickly, and both of the Ushapti stacking up with that Necrotech, able to assist with the rest of it. These Cavalry Guard actually holding their own with against that Black Orc, as the Wa is popped though, so those Black Orcs are going to be a fearsome foe indeed. Now the Tomb Scorpion is rocking with Cetra in the back line, causing havoc against those Orc Error boys. And those Doom Divers, though, are going to be firing in at pretty much point-blank range here, as you see this one kind of arcing its way straight towards Cetra. It does pretty good damage against kind of large targets. It does look like some of the shots are kind of missing its mark, though, as Cetra gets a nice little rear charge, though, into those Black Orcs. But Grom is close behind, as he does have Sneaky Stabbing on top, so he does have armor-piercing increase and melee attack bonus, so he should be doing some decent work even against Cetra, though Cetra should still win that engagement. Grom really needs to get out of there and kind of cycle its way through, as those Black Orcs are just taking a bunch of damage. Kind of surprised at just how easily the Tomb Kings are being able to chew through these units, and with both Ushapti on top of these Black Orcs, you can understand that. But even those Kepler Guard seem to be doing quite well themselves. Two of the Skeleton Spearmen with the King Nagesh is able to push off those Spider Riders, and we do have some of the Black Orcs starting to come back in those rear lines. But now this Tomb Scorpion is very, very isolated, and with Grom on top of these Black Orcs, might just be able to take this Scorpion out of the picture, as it is pretty much very far from any support that it could feasibly get in time, though it is a slippery little construct and can get out of an sticky situations pretty easily. Yeah, the second Black Orc is just on the verge of routing, with both of these Ushapti sitting at pretty much full health, 12 units apiece. And Grom is going to have to be a little bit careful now. He is getting a little low. He does have his regen, so he will be able to get a lot of that health back. It'll just be a matter of time, and I'll let some of the other troops deal with things. Get the Rusty Arrows firing in on the Scorpion with the assistance of the Black Orcs and even the Force Goblin Spider Riders, but they do rout with that Ushapti summon, which I did miss earlier on. That was able to catch out this Doom Diver, shut that down, and then get right on top of the Rusty Arrows. A very good chase off there. The Rusty Arrows are a pretty decent threat against the Tomb Kings. Not going to be doing damage themselves, but reducing that armor is very, very good against those constructs, Tomb Scorpion, Ushapti, and the like. But that Tomb Scorpion isn't wavering a bit. It is that critical binding, though it does have the support incoming from the Ushapti, and the Necrotech will be close to, behind as well. Skeleton Spearmen getting close to shutting down these Doom Divers. At the time being, they are just engaged with some of the arrow units, and that is going to see the Ushapti summons going to be dissipating fairly soon, though those Rusty Arrows may be off the map for good regardless. The Chosen of the Gods have been able to use up all of their ammo. Luckily, these Doom Diver catapults did have other targets to be shooting at, and the mobility of the Greenskins was not able to really get into that backline. Wrath Patrol going down against these Night Goblins, doing some nice bit of damage there, though they are unbreakable. It will do a nice bit of burst fire, get them off the map as quickly as they can, though Grom now is in a sticky situation right now, as he is surrounded by the Necrotech and these Ushapti. Ushapti provides some decent mass. He is trying to pull himself out. Those Force Goblin Spider Riders are going to be routing, though, and that will be the end of his mobility support. There is still one more unit, but it is only at 18 models, and we'll see if that is going to be enough, as this other unit is going to be wavering and routing as well. But now, yeah, it's pretty much the Tomb King's game at this point. You have the Ushapti finally shutting down the last Doom Diver, and that's a lot of the balance power right there. And yes, Tesla will concede, seeing that all hope has been lost. So take a look at that after battle report. Cetra and the Tomb Scorpion doing some good work in the back line, really kind of shutting down those kind of key threats in the terms of those ranged units. and they were still able to sustain themselves very well. There wasn't anything that the Greenskins were able to really put a hurt on those Tomb King forces, even though these Black Orcs really kind of surprised about them. I thought they would be able to hold a lot better. I mean, yes, when you have two Shopti and a Necrotech engaging with them, they're not going to do as well. They still do nice armor-piercing damages, but even against the Kefra Guard, they weren't really able to push through and cut them down, though there was some support from Cetra in that particular engagement. Rusty Arrow is kind of a shame seeing them go off with only one kill. They do some nice value, though. With only one kill, that kind of means that they were shooting at some of those big targets that really needed those armor-sundering deductions put on them, so that was decent target priority at that point. The Screaming Skull Catapult, though, that did not do a whole lot of work. Those Doom Divers, very good counter to that. And then after they took out that the Screaming Skull Catapult, I'm kind of surprised I wasn't seeing them go for those Ushapti, as the Chosen of the Gods were able to use up all of their ammo over the course of the fight, and they did have plenty of very nice targets to shoot at. Particularly the Black Orcs are a very good choice for them. Otherwise, that was a very good match. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good one.